Welcome back to the third segment in today's lesson on disability and education. In this segment, we're going to talk about early identification and intervention. Within the United States, certainly, there has been an effort made over the last 20 plus years to identify children as soon as possible and begin services to them, because the earlier we begin services, typically the better the outcome. We have lots of research to support the value of early intervention. So what we'll talk about in this segment is, first off, how are children identified? And certainly physicians and other healthcare providers, clinics, are a prime referral source because, again, we're talking 0 to 3. And the more education those individuals have about the signs to look for in terms of different disabilities and so forth, the better off we work. Intervention in this model also has a kind of a different flavor in that intervention is most often provided in what's termed family-based treatment, where it's not that you take the child from his or her mother and go provide services to him or her. Instead, you involve the whole family in the treatment. You'll hear in just a few moments from guest speaker Lori Nelson, a speech-language pathologist who has a specialty in early intervention, kind of how that process works and why it's so important to include families in the development and implementation of treatment.
The concept of early intervention, obviously, is to intervene as early as possible. In the United States, there's programming from birth to 3 that is federally funded should children meet certain criteria. Now, we want to do that because we know those early years, the brain has more plasticity, that is, it's still able to build new pathways and new wiring, connect wiring that may not be there. So we want to take advantage of that brain development at that time. The important thing about that is that for that age group, learning new skills is really most meaningful in the context of their own environment. So that would be in their own home, with their own family, working within the family's systems. Right. It's exactly opposite of the usual approach where you would take the child to the office, the parent would sit outside the waiting room while the child received treatment. In this model, the clinician should be a consultant to the family. They should find ways to empower the family to be the facilitators of change so that therapeutic interventions are being done all the time in the context of daily life. Like folding laundry can be a sorting task. Setting the table can be a naming task. So there's all kinds of ways that families can enjoy their children, do what they do, but still be providing rich language and learning opportunities. Well, as families, parents know their children best, so they know what their child may be more interested in, they know what their family activities may be. It creates a relationship that fosters a nice parent-child relationship as well.
As you can see from Ms. Nelson's perspective as a speech-language pathologist and her work with children who have disabilities and are 0 to 3, there's great value in this. And so keep that in mind as we think about services, as we think about moving to the next step, because the next step is, so how do these children function in the school setting, and how does it work in terms of implementing their accommodations, working within the classroom? And so let's move to that next.